Welcome back to the Sam Houston Sports Talk podcast. It's I mean this it's not ever going to change the hosts. I hope so. Hope we can keep doing this as long as we can. I'm Colin Neal. That's Luke Scott. Luke, I spent literally an hour trying to figure out some audio issues, and I finally figured it out. And I feel bad, man. I feel like I'm wasting your time. It feels like.
Well, Colin, it is what it
It
is.
is what
We
it
were
is.
on this call started at 7 o'clock, and now we're starting to record at 8 o'clock because ongoing audio difficulties. So I'm just glad that we're able to record. It's been a little while since we've been able to sit down and chit chat a little bit about the Bearcats and kind of talk to the people and let the people talk to us a little bit. We just haven't been able to do it in a little while, so it's good to be back.
Yeah, so we're gonna just go ahead and just recap really quickly. This first segment is gonna be really one big segment, just catching up with a lot of things because football kickoff times all but one was released. Some realignment news that really just developed today, this Monday morning, a Pete Thamel article on how this could affect Sam Houston football or Sam Houston athletics, I would say in general. And the athletic year just officially ended, Luke. Baseball is still searching for an assistant coach, recruiting coordinator after Jake Carlson left. So that's something right there. And all in all, just catch up a little bit. Luke, I do want to first start off this podcast though. Before we do though, be sure to hit that subscribe button, like us, follow us on all of our social media platforms. They're all in the description. And before we begin the segment, just know that the next segment is the big one. It's back, baby. Monday mailbag. Back by popular demand. Sort of. But anyway, let's get right into it. Realignment could be back in full swing again. Texas State is rumored to be the heavy favorite to go to the Pac 12. That's been rumored for quite some time, Luke, whether you really believed it or not. If Pete Thamel's reporting it, then it could be a big deal. It's going to be big. It's a big deal. And if Texas State moves to the Pac 12, then the Sun Belt could be eyeing Louisiana Tech of Conference USA to replace Texas State. There's been some reports that the Sun Belt just wants to get out of Texas in general. If Texas State leaves, just like not even worry about the state of Texas as a whole, which it's kind of a weird position to have if that is true. But whatever. I just Luke, this whatever happens in this next round of realignment that's happening, even though I thought we were done with it, we're not, unfortunately. I just feel like one way or another, Sam Houston's going to be affected.
Yeah, there is going to be kind of that domino effect where once you see one fall, the next one's coming, right? And teams moving up. Rumored to be like you said, Texas State. It's really interesting. It's really interesting just because Texas State is really the school of a lot of uh, potential, right? It's a huge school. A lot of people go to it. There is some good money that's going in and out of Texas State. It's got a great alumni base, but the history of like really rich athletics really isn't there. And it's in a cool little college town. We've all been to San Marcos. It's a cool little spot. Float the river, have a good time. But the athletics really just hasn't ever come through in a huge way. I mean, they kind of have a Texas A&M syndrome kind of going wherever when it all looks good, it crashes down. We saw that in full effect this past year when the Bearcats took them down once again. There in RG, but it is an interesting thought of saying, okay, well, if they're going out to the Pac-12, they're going out west. That Sun Belt's going to have to replace someone, and Sunbelt's going to look towards someone or a school like a Sam Houston or like a Western Kentucky, Louisiana Tech, like a Conference USA team, and who knows where that goes with from pulling from someone either maybe in the D2s or FCS programs coming up. There's a lot of potential um, dominoes that could really fall into place, and it's really a guessing game of what's going to happen. But Texas State, I wouldn't think that would be a big draw for the Pac-12, considering the academic requirements. that Texas State has compared to what the Pac-12 generally or historically has presented, but those schools are all gone. So who knows, Colin? I mean, it's really a guessing game.
This is what is said in Pete Thamel's article on ESPN. You can find it's not blocked by ESPN Plus. You can read it for free. Is a quote. This was a very interesting. These are some very interesting things I saw. While sources stress there has been no formal invitation yet for Texas State, the move has reached the point where the Sun Belt is preparing for a departure. Uh, the Sun Belt had started put together contingency plans when the rumors started flowing around in the fall. Good conversations per sources that established that Louisiana Tech as the favorite over several other targets, including Western Kentucky, if Texas State were to leave. I wonder what those other targets are besides Louisiana Tech and Western Kentucky. That is kind of an interesting point right there. But the thing is, Luke, Louisiana Tech is the favorite for one thing only: regional rivalries, because you have ULM, Louisiana, UL, Southern Miss. You have those schools right there. That's boom, natural rivalries right there. And the Sun Belt's realignment strategy for years has been to double down on regional rivalries, and Louisiana Tech would fall in that category. That's actually what I just read right there from Pete Thamel. Western Kentucky would be attractive because of the program's strong history in football and longstanding success in men's basketball. It would have some supports from the schools in the East, but the early read right now is that Louisiana Tech is ahead, or basically as a favorite per the Conference USA bylaws, and the party school would owe 2 years of revenue distribution and need to buy back the grants of rights. For a school for 2026, the cost projects to be more than $5 million. And the thing is, Luke, there's no formal invitation yet for Texas State from the Pac-12, and why that's important. Right now, it's $5 million. It's a buyout of $5 million to lead the Sun Belt Conference. Once July 1st arrives, that number goes up to $10 million.
Yeah, and that much money. I mean, that's a lot for these programs, right? I mean, yeah, 10 million. That's a huge chunk of change for schools our size, right? And you know, a similar situation happened with Sam Houston, where it was like, okay, is this good for us moving up? You know, and is Sunbelt really moving up compared to the Conference USA? Not as much as it was for like us for going from the WAC obviously up to the Conference USA, but um, I mean, it's a weird spot that La Tech's really in because yeah, I mean the rivalries are there, right? Monroe is kind of a growing program. UL always really good. In the diamond sports, they've been really good and competitive in football as well. Um, I like the move for a La Tech, but like, I mean, the buyouts, going through that entire process. I mean, and it's not like La Tech's really been killing it in the Conference USA the past couple of years, Colin.
You know what would be really insane though? What if
I'm listening. I'm listening. I'm gonna have to go off the screen right real quick a little bit, but I'm listening.
what if Sam Houston is a part of a target was is a target for Sunbelt for the Sunbelt, or could the Sunbelt be trying to get Louisiana Tech and Sam Houston? Because I don't because like let's be for real here, Luke. Texas football in Texas is a big deal. Now I don't think the Sunbelt wants to go away from that. For me personally, I just don't see that. I just don't see the Sun Belt not wanting to just leave Texas out entirely. Now, maybe those rumors are true, but Luke, if Sam Houston is approached by the Sun Belt and is asked, "Hey, we're gonna bring you in. We're also gonna probably bring in Louisiana Tech with us. Would you like to join the Sun Belt?" Luke, I asked you this question. Would you do it?
Yes,
Explain.
I would. I think it is a move up. I think the Sun Belt garners a little bit more attention um, rather than the Conference USA. I think the sports world, the college athletics world, views the Sun Belt as a more competitive conference throughout its entire. um, catalog of sports. I think, if you're able to put up, I think, you know, when you have a 10-win season in the Sun Belt compared to a 10-win season in the Conference USA, I think most people would say that the Sun Belt is more impressive. Um, I think it garners a little bit more national attention. Um, I think the money's probably a little bit better. The only reason I would say maybe no is because Sam Houston's jumped. Potentially that would be what the fourth conference we jumped to in what six or when it would be what 7 years because it depends on really when it happens. Well, when is 2020? Yeah, it'd be like 7 or 8 years. So the
A fourth conference in this decade. That's really insane if you really think about it.
yeah, so that's kind of where I might say no.
But the thing is,
But
look,
I
if
think but I
y-
think you know what? Also,
y-
like Sam Houston's stock hasn't been higher, right? I know
it's a
basketball,
it's a
both
very
men's and women's, and baseball, softball. I know that didn't really have a great season this year, but football is really the main driver of the economic of your sports
yeah,
power
exactly.
there,
Yeah.
and you got to strike when the iron's hot, right? I if they were to say move to the Pac-12, I would say, well, you have to, right? You just kind of have to because you're not going to get the opportunity again. But moving to the Sun Belt might not ever happen again. So
Well, if you
I would
if
say yes.
if you remember if you remember a few months ago on a BSN Extra, Bobby Williams said that the Mountain West did approach Sam Houston and he declined it. And I wouldn't have liked that move in the first place, to be honest with you. And I wouldn't like the move to the Pac-12 either, to be honest with you on that one too. The reason why I think if that's why I've always said if there was a conference that Sam Houston could move to, if things are not looking good in Conference USA right now, it is either the American or it's the Sun Belt. And I think the Sun Belt's a very realistic option. And if Texas State leaves, then I just don't see why the Sun Belt wouldn't ask Sam Houston. But hey, look, listen, there's a wild card here. This invitation, there's no invitation yet. What if Texas State does stay? Then do things just stay the same, or does this thing cause other schools to have a bit of a reaction to what could have been? I mean, there's just so many moving parts here, Luke, that something could happen literally in a few hours while I'm editing this video. It could happen tomorrow morning, or it could happen the next day. Like anything could literally happen any minute. It would just have to take a Pete Thamel tweet. I just don't know. But right now, my main concern in all of this, to really come full circle, is how Sam Houston Athletics is going to get affected. Because Luke, I don't want to get athletics. I don't want athletics to be stuck in the mud and then get left behind by everybody else. That's the worst thing that could happen. I'm hoping leadership is not just sitting down, just letting it all unfold. I hope that they're at least fielding calls, strategizing, getting ready for what could happen. I just hope, Luke, that we have a plan. That Sam Houston has a plan, and that when things fall, when things happen, then that plan is a good plan to have executed for the sake of the future of Sam Houston Athletics.
Well, look at Texas State, right? In the FCS ranks, in the Southland, and they jump up, quickly to the Sun Belt, and we're just kind of left behind for a decade, nearly 20 years, really without much, great success. Not necessarily 20 years, but it was over a decade of just kind of not being competitive at all in football. And again, that's your main big time revenue generator with your athletic program, and they got left behind, and that's the worst thing that could happen with Sam. You don't want that to happen at all, especially coming off a 10-win season this past year, and hopefully of what things will come this year. There's so much to be like uncovered that we just don't know yet there,
Yeah,
but
that's
that's a whole
true.
different topic.
Hmm.
You're right. The last thing you want is just to be stuck in the mud, right? Some like just to be, kind of dust in the wind, right? Kansas reference right there. Um, if you're just kind of left, and you're left behind, great, you're making money, but if you're not doing anything with it, what is that? So I think the Sun Belt could be a good move, Colin, and there is history with programs that are already there, right? There is history with Sam Houston. I mean, James Madison, for example, in the FCS, went back and forth there for a long time.
Georgia Southern,
Georgia Southern, just
albeit
this
that's
past.
yeah, albeit it's just for that you know reason, which is the bowl game. But hey, it's a really nice story right there. And
Yeah, and like,
you
but
also
like when you say regional rivalry, that's what they're trying to bank on in the Sun Belt. Who would our quote unquote rival be, right? I mean, would it be someone, if there were two teams that were to go from the Conference USA to the Sun Belt? Okay, maybe, but like, Lafayette, UL, not really. I mean,
well, here's the thing though. Old Southland rivalries like ULM, Arkansas State. I mean, if Texas State for some reason still is into the Sun Belt, then boom, right there. Excuse me.
right? Yeah,
I
Texas
mean,
State would be the Texas State would be the given one, and I'm not saying I am not complaining about if UL is a rivalry. I'd love to go back to Lafayette. Love Lafayette. Love Scott, Louisiana, the boudin capital of the world. But I just don't. I don't know.
it's
If I
such
mean,
complicated. It's such a
I'm a
complicated situation.
70% yes, 30% no.
I'm right now just happy with what we have in Conference USA with the TV deals, with the exposure we've been getting over the past 2 years. I just want the right things to happen for Sam Houston, so that way we can at least be in a stable spot. I mean, we all thought what happened. I mean, we all thought what happened with with the Big Ten and the Big 12 and the SEC and all those realignments. Well, like what happened to the original Pac-12? We thought that was going to be the end of realignment. Okay, we got a stable picture of what college football is going to be at least like for the next decade, and then that whole news happened with the Pac-12, like basically stabbing the Mountain West Conference in the back. And I still don't know how it's exactly going to work out for the Pac-12. I mean, a part of me wants to say they wouldn't have done this if they had a plan, but a part of me is like they probably got a little too greedy. A part of me is trying to a part of me wants to say that they got greedy and that something is going to happen. Like, what if this lawsuit they have with the Mountain West, I think it's a lawsuit of some sorts. What if they lose? What if they what if all of a sudden those invitations are null and voided? I mean, the schools that they send out the invitation to are accepted and it's going to happen. But what if all these moves that the Pac-12 is trying to make is going to bankrupt them at the end of the day? What if these TV deals are not what if these TV deals don't fall in? What if they just break apart? I mean, there is a TV deal out there and there's been more and more details coming out. I don't know. It's just what the Pac-12 did to the Mountain West was very bad. It was bad what they did poaching the other teams. They should have Oregon State and the Washington State
It's
should have just merged with the Mountain West and call it a day. But I guess the Pac-12 is going to do what the Pac-12 is going to do, is try to preserve their conference and try to build it back up to where it could be potentially a power conference. Even though I really don't see how it can be a power conference again.
no, I mean, I don't think it is, but it's a dog eat dog world out there. It really is. And it also garners the question, would you rather be the big fish in the little pond or the smaller fish in the big pond, right? Um, Sam Houston, I think, could be the big fish in the Conference USA pond in 5 years, right? I think in 5 years, us and Liberty, right? And maybe West Kentucky, those could be the big three, right? In this conference. I think we could get there. I think we've proven it. Um, and with win, I mean, we've had really good success against Sunbelt, opponents in the recent, and we play Troy this next year. They're in the Sun Belt too, which is right there too. But Yeah, it's a little bit of a bigger pond right there, right? You're not necessarily in the ocean, but you're in a lake. I guess that'd be the reference. But
I don't know.
yeah, no, I mean you're right. I mean you're right in the yeah you got to go when you can go, and I think if the opportunity is there, and it's not like it's a region issue. I mean the Sun Belt, you'd rather be the most time wise, you'd rather be the most behind team than the team that's most in front. I think because like us, if we were playing in the Mountain West, playing Mountain Time, every week, that would not. I mean, that's not good for anyone. But playing on the Eastern Coast time more than Mountain, you wouldn't be too bad. So
I, I
I'm with it. I'm with it.
I just don't know how this exactly benefits Texas State outside of money reasons. I personally don't see the
Mm.
money there, but whatever. It's because looking at Pete Thamel again, and as you're washing dishes or whatever you're doing, the league's goal was to add schools from the AAC, and I'm putting my own words to this at one point. But then it goes on. Tulane had little interest in it, which was a very interesting thing. And initial courtship to add Memphis hit a hard stop because of finances, according to Pete Thamel's article. I mean, the Pac-12, Luke, was only going to offer only about $2.5 million to help with the buyout, which was, it says here, the exit fee to leave the AAC prior to the 27th month mark was estimated around $25 million. And the thing is, Luke, Memphis gets a crap ton of money from FedEx and a bunch of other donors.
That's
They probably could have
that is
afforded
where
it.
the headquarters is.
They probably could have afforded it.
Well,
And
and the also thing, also, well, also, Colin. I mean, when it comes to sway for coaches and players, yeah, do you think playing in the Sun Belt garners more attention than the Conference USA?
from an alumni base, Sam Houston, yes, because of all the old rivalries that could be brought back up again. But right now, for brand exposure wise and playing it safe, sticking to sticking to Conference USA right now is the safe play unless you have an offer on the table, Luke, that you can't refuse.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know.
And
I'm personally done talking about it, but we can just like wrap this up real quick. Just give me your final thoughts, so we can get to other stuff. I almost cursed right there.
yeah, you almost did.
I
Well,
almost did.
also another thing, with the football stadium being built,
That's also
if you can go into that first season, right? I mean, and if theoretically, if there's a move, and you're unveiling that brand new stadium, that's a big attraction right there. It's a lot of money coming in, you'd think, potentially, but also if it's behind and you have to go and play at Houston Dynamo Stadium Shell Energy once again, in another year, right? Let's just say it was, 2 years from now. Yeah, that's a headache for you right there. And a lot of lost money that's just going to the stadium, going to the Dynamo, whoever owns the stadium at Shell, I guess. So I don't know, but I think you got to go whenever the time is right. And I think now that we've been able to play at this higher D1 level, as compared to the WAC and Southland, I think there's an issue that we can get there. So
yeah.
I'm for it.
Yeah, let's just see how everything develops, really. But all in all, the point is, let's just hope that the decisions and the decision making is made right to benefit Sam Houston, not just now, but in the long run. All right, let's move on now, real quick, Luke. The football kickoff times have been announced, and dude, like, hey, I'm actually I'm not really mad really with like the schedule considering the circumstances that we have right now with playing at the Shell Energy Stadium. I mean, Luke, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guaranteed national televised games. You can get 3 probably at the end of the year because ESPN platforms announced 12 days prior. Those are games against Delaware, Middle Tennessee, and FIU. I'm surprised Delaware is not. I wish Delaware was a CBS game because it's Ryan Carty going up against the school that for the head coach of Delaware going up against his old job against Sam Houston when he was the offensive coordinator here. I'm pretty okay, honestly. And hey, September 20th at Texas, it's a night game at DKR at 7 p.m. And the UNLV is
Yeah.
an 8:30 p.m. home kickoff in Shell Energy. Wow.
Yeah. Um, yeah, no, I mean, I'm looking at it right now, and there's
Prepare
just so much we don't know.
prepare
But it's
for
like
some
I think the games
buckets.
at home are definitely winnable games to me. I think. Um, I mean, Oregon State will be tough. Obviously, Western Kentucky to open, that's pretty tough.
That's a huge first test, by the way. That's a huge
That
test
that's a
early on.
huge game. But I kind of like it. I kind of like it being the first part of the year. I mean, in a way I hate it because it's like like there's so much unknown about this team coming into this year that and the continuity isn't there, but it's not really there for Western Kentucky either. I mean, they lost a lot, so
Yeah,
I don't
that
know.
that,
It's
that quarterback kind of scares me from Abilene Christian.
yeah, he does a little bit.
It kind of scares me a little bit. Good old Maverick over there. His first name is Maverick, Luke. I mean, that's scary. So that's a quarterback name.
It kind of is. It's a pitcher name, right?
Yeah. I don't know, but I don't know. I just want to get that talk out of the way because there's not really much to talk about. Really, it's just 7 primetime games. I mean, you get 2 primetime games right off the bat, and here's the thing. I'm a
Well,
little.
it could be four. It could very well be four because I mean, at Hawaii, it's later than prime time, so
It could
maybe
be.
not.
It could be a CBS game, maybe.
Hell, it could be six, seven. They could all be prime times,
Well, I don't think
except
Texas is ESPN plus SEC plus. Even though they're having their game against UTEP on the SEC network, so that would have technically been prime time, but that's not. I mean, it's gonna get a lot of viewership for sure because it's Texas. But
yeah,
yeah,
true.
I don't know. Real quick, just to kind of go over a few things. Volleyball released their schedule. Y'all can go check that out. We'll preview volleyball, of course, like we always do. Preview soccer later on in the years, as we always do. Later on in this summer, like we always do. Baseball still searching for an assistant coach. I'm kind of curious to see if baseball grabs any more guys out of the portal. We'll see what happens with that. I don't know, Luke. I think we pretty much caught up with everything. Football's made some signing. It's official. The football roster is pretty much set right now. If you go online now, it's no longer a bunch of guys with no numbers on there. So that's fixed. I'm excited to go through that roster like I do for a couple days and like doing my own kind of evaluations and on those because I'm pretty excited to do that. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and take a bit of a break. When we come back, it is time for Monday Mailbag. That's next. It is time for the Monday Mailbag, the return of our first segment really of its own that I made up, and then I took it out for some reason. I don't know why I did, because we had some pretty good submissions interacting here from the Bearkats out there, giving them a bit of a platform for them. And it's always nice to hear from fellow fans of the pod, Bearkats as a whole. But Luke, let's go ahead and get it started. I want to do this first one real quick, since we haven't really talked about we didn't really talk about basketball. From at Cats on Top 69420, Mr. Run the Damn Ball. He asked, "Do you think Mudge reloaded well for this upcoming season?" I'll go first on this one. Luke, I think that Mudge really well. I mean, you got some exciting freshmen coming in. You got some nice transfer portal guys coming in. Personally, I'm a big fan of Cashy Nat and Po Boy King. Cashy Nat, especially, my God, we got a bit of some athletes on this team. Luke, you got Damon Nicholas Jr. returning. CJ Boma is coming back. And most of the coaching staff is still there. Justin Bailey, of course, left to go to Indiana with Lamar Wilkerson. That was probably a driving point in Lamar going to Indiana. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that's true. I'm not saying it's false. But I think this upcoming season of men's basketball is going to be much better than this past season. That's an early hot take prediction on my end.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. I mean, I look at our roster that's kind of coming in, and I like that the fact that there is a healthy amount of graduate, senior guys, seniors, juniors. I'm a fan of, like, there is a definite wealth of experience there from kind of all over, right? I mean, guys that played in the A10, guys that played in lower division levels, guys that played Division One, high major basketball. There's a really healthy mix there, and it's kind of the world of college basketball where it's you get in who you can get in, and hopefully not many people leave, and if you can get some sort of continuing or some sort of like mesh there, right? That can work. No, but I agree. Po Boy King looks to be someone that's super engaged, and someone who you think that might be able to really do something. Damon Nicholas, hopefully he can have a bounce back season off his injury. And like you said, Cashy Nat, great name. Obviously, LSU Alexandria is, obviously it's not a Division One team, but
NAIA
there
National
there
Player
is
of
a
the
pedigree
Year.
there. That's what I'm saying. There is a pedigree there. So I think we did as much as we could have. Um, and don't forget about Isaiah Manning, right? I mean,
Yeah.
TCU guy, um, had a really good high school career and didn't really take off at TCU there, but there is potential. So I'm very pleased with kind of how he's kind of reloaded and retooled from what last year was, and you're hoping, that it can be something.
Yeah, so I mean, you go online now. It's the same thing as a football roster. It's been finalized. Yeah, Noah Benny, he'll be wearing number 0. Excuse me, freshman guard out of Fort Bend Christian Academy. Then he announced his commitment a few months ago. Man, getting a little burps here. CJ Boma, of course, number 1. He's coming back after a redshirt season. Jacoby Coleman, freshman, he'll wear number 2 from Dynamic Prep. Wearing number 4, Cashy Map, the guard, NAI National Player of the Year from LSU Alexandria. Number 5 will be Justin Begg, the George Mason transfer from Episcopal High School in Houston. Veljko Ilic, the Loyola Maryland transfer, Serbian. He's coming in as a graduate. He'll wear number 8, number 10, Jackson Ford. I think that's a new number for Jackson. I could be wrong though. We all know about him. Very exciting prospect. Number 11, Nathan Wynn from St. Thomas Episcopal High School in Houston. The Canadian himself, 7 foot, number 12, Matt Dan. Isaiah Manning will wear number 13, the TCU transfer, like you said. Jackson Rogers coming back for his sophomore year, number 22. Check-in Jai still wearing number 23, the Senegal native. Damon Nicholas Jr. He's going to wear number 25 this year. That's definitely
He was 10.
He was, yeah,
He
that's right.
was 10.
Yeah, so
And
Damon Nicholas Jr.
Ford was Ford 6 or 8?
He was 6. Ford was 6.
6.
And then my favorite name, Po Boy King, number 35, the transfer guard from North Carolina Central, and then number 55 would be freshman from Sunrise Christian Academy, Jacob Walker. So that's your roster. We kind of went on a little bit of tangent there. I know Luke's gonna get annoyed with Po Boy King a little bit because of the name, and people are just gonna keep on going. But I got some things cooking for that.
It's going to be fun for a little bit, but after, I mean, once we're in the dog days of February, late January, early February, it's going to be like, all right, because people are going to keep on talking about Po Boy, and you're just going to hear the name so much. It is a fun name though. Like, I'll give him credit. Like, I love it right now, but I just won't. I know I won't in January and February.
Moving on here on Monday Mailbag on Sam Houston Sports Talk. Sidelines UTEP decided to chime on in. What are your thoughts on playing in a new stadium for this football season? I'll let you go first on this one, Luke.
Is this the famed Jacob Kuski?
No,
Kuski?
no. It's not. It's not. No. It's not. It's not.
No, it's not.
Let's not go down that rabbit hole.
Okay.
Let's not go down that rabbit hole.
I know. I shouldn't. We can edit that out. No,
No. It's gonna be. It's gonna be left in there. It's gonna be left in there. It's gonna be left in there.
the burners will enjoy that. The
Yes,
burners
yes,
will
they
like
will.
that.
Yes, they will.
Thoughts on the new stadium? Are they talking about
For
Shell Energy right now?
Yeah, no, it's just Shell Energy. Shell Energy.
Yeah, well, it really the options that Huntsville has kind of around it, and this guy probably isn't around Huntsville area that much if he's a UTEP guy. But yeah, no, there's not really that many like great options. The high school stadiums that are close. I don't think they just didn't fit the criteria. I think that was kind of the main driver of things for like mainly the media, locker rooms. Like I don't think it just didn't fit kind of what was needed, the requirements. I don't know if it maybe the one in the Woodlands did. I'm blanking on the name of it. But no, I'm okay with the soccer stadium. It's cool. It'll be interesting. I'm gonna try to get down there one game maybe, hopefully.
You gotta at least be there for the last game of the season.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. It's okay. It's okay. I mean,
We make do with what we have.
it's probably better than NRG, to be fair, just because it's not as big. NRG would be kind of empty. I think in some games, but I think it'll be good enough for the Sam Houston base that's in the Conroe, Woodlands, Houston surrounding area. I think that'll be fine. It's just a shame that it's not really that close to our campus.
Yeah, that is the shame indeed. But Sam Houston gets harp on this, but it's mostly true. It's a commuter school, and a lot of them go back home in Houston or the Conroe area, like the Montgomery County areas and whatnot. And you know what? I'm fine with we have to make do with what we have, Luke. I think NRG probably would have been a lot more expensive, maybe not. Who knows? But we just have to make do with what we have right now, and it is what it is. We just have to go through this for one more year, hope to God, and this is a good opportunity for the university to connect back with the alumni, because we're gonna need their support, especially for the next few years with what's going on with the press box, how expensive that was, and a lots of other things I think Sam Houston Athletics wants to get done. So we'll see about that, especially as it goes on. From Cats on Top, he submitted two. He submitted two, so we can allow it. We'll start with this one. Kind of goes hand in hand. This kind of be pretty quick because we don't really know that much. Do you know of any other stadium renovations they are doing, since we aren't using it again until the 2026 season? Seems like a perfect opportunity to get more done. Well, yeah, the press box, new sound system, because obviously can't have the old sound system connected to that, and plus the sound system is garbage. It hurts. It hurts, especially when the feedback goes on. It hurts the ears a little bit, and it sounds bad on TV. So I know a new sound system would have to go in because of a new media center up in the press box. Allegedly, a new scoreboard.
Is this exclusive? Is this the Sam Houston Sports Talk exclusive right here?
I just heard rumblings, so I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. I have to submit a FOIA to get more details. So I'm going to do that sometime this week. I want to submit a FOIA. Give me everything, because it's my freedom to have the information.
Freedom of Information Act.
Yes, that's the joke right there, Luke. That's the joke. You ruined it a little bit. That's all I've heard, though, and I think that's really all that needs to be said. But to kind of build off of Cats on Top real quick, do you think in terms of a football roster standpoint that we upgraded? He also says, I think offense upgraded. That's cats on top. I don't know. I think offensive wise, we may have upgraded. There's one person that I'm glad we really kept, Luke, especially under Longo's offense. I'm really glad we kept, well, there's two people, receivers, Quavez Humphreys and Michael Phoenix. I'm glad we kept those two. I'm really glad because we got those are veteran receivers. They can teach the young receivers, and Quavez Humphreys, Luke, is really going to feed in that air raid offense. And me and you were really not happy with his usage as the season went on. He was used quite a lot early on, but then as the season went on, he was not being used a lot. And we thought that this is a guy that you should really try to get the ball to because he can make some plays. So I think right
Yeah, no,
now
I
you
mean,
can say the
that,
offense upgraded. The defense, though, there's just a lot of question marks that I don't know how Coach Freddie runs his defense. I don't really know much about it. So I'm not going to sit here and say what I know. So yeah, that's kind of where I am at right now.
you're on the money right there, Colin, and it's not a hot take at all. We just don't know what this defense is going to be. I mean, we lost so many starters last year and rotation guys to the portal. I mean, you lost coaches,
Yeah.
you lost starters, rotation guys, red shirts. I mean, there's just so much that you just have no idea what it's going to look like. And, um, you hope some of that kind of goes through and bleeds down to the people that are staying and the transfers that are coming in. You hope so. So the defense is, I'm not going to say the defense is going to be an upgrade at all. I mean, I'm just not going to say that just because of how good. I mean, you can't forget how great the Bearcats were last year down the stretch, keeping our offense in these games where we should have been blown out, and instead we're eking out wins. Right? I mean, I won't say that we got better on that side. The offense, though, I think we did. Um, and I know there's going to be a quarterback battle there. Um,
I still think it's Hunter Watson.
the more I think about it, I was not thinking Hunter Watson, but now I kind of am. Just kind of hearing some rumblings here and there, but like I think the Longo, being there will be an upgrade. I think that will do something. Just kind of a more of an offensive guy more than Keeler, right? And head coach really calling plays. I think the offense will be better. I think the offense will be a little bit better. And you mentioned Quavez Humphreys calling. I think more Michael Phoenix now. Just because we saw the flash from Humphreys, but we didn't see the the production really, throughout this year. And you could say the same thing about Michael Phoenix. I mean, the guy would look incredible, and then he would fumble or mess up somehow, and he'd get taken out. But you could see that the coaching staff really liked Michael Phoenix. You could see the potential there, and so I think that's going to be kind of the two. Those are definitely the two guys to watch out for offensively.
That running back room
But
also
yeah, I
looks
think the
really
offense
good.
is going to be. Say that again.
That running back room also looks pretty good after it got depleted in literally a week.
Yeah, no, I mean, but still, call. I mean, I don't know. I mean, obviously, there. I mean, I don't know. It's tough.
It's
It's tough
tough.
to say.
It is. And the thing
I
is,
mean,
though,
uh,
go ahead.
I was gonna say. I mean, like Elijah Green, right? Coming from Indiana, you'd think, okay, like he can really do something. And uh, what was the guy's name from Kansas State? Colin.
Arizona State, Alton,
Kansas State.
Kansas State.
Maybe it was
No, the
Arizona
other, you're talking
State.
about the other running back, right?
Yeah, Porter.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Shane Porter.
yeah, you Yeah, I mean, North Texas, K-State, I just looked it up. Yeah, North Texas, K-State, and you got some freshmen coming in. The running back room looks deep, and that's something that we haven't been
Oh
able to
yeah.
say, I think, in quite some time. So, and then you also have the DJ Bailey factor, Colin.
I don't know I don't know anymore, dude. I don't know.
Colin, don't sleep on DJ Bailey.
Yeah, but he's not been. But the thing is, though, he's not been mentioned in the QB about it. I've heard it's been Hunter Watson versus Mabry Metower. That's what I've heard. So
Yeah,
maybe
I mean
something.
that's what it will be.
And the thing is, though, you never know because of injuries. But I don't know. I just that's literally what this football season is going to be. What I'm going to be telling people when it comes to leading up to the season is I don't know. What I need to do though is like what I said, what we really need to do, Luke, is really break down the position groups so I want to look at film on all these guys, see if I can find things to read about, literally make a whole manifesto of this whole roster, Luke, just so I can come up with a better opinion. And I don't want to disrespect our viewers, our listeners, and give them a BS answer because I don't want to do that. I just literally don't know. And playing into that, Luke, NBA Sam Boy, one of the one of the one of the those burners that always all the burners put a smile on my face, but the NBA Sam Boy is different, bro. It's just different sometimes. I like how all the burner accounts have their own shtick in a way that just makes it so entertaining. He asked, one of his questions was, what's the floor and ceiling for Phil Longo in year one? And in my opinion, Luke, the floor is 4-8 and the ceiling is 8-4.
Yeah.
That's where I am right now. Right
Oh, that's
now,
such
that
a
could
good
change.
question, man. That's such a good question. Man, shout out NBA Sandboy, huh?
I think, yeah,
Not
shout
only
out
is he a pest in the comment section, but he's asking some real big J questions.
philosophical questions, big boy questions.
Yeah, I agree with you, Colin. I think, yeah, I think 8 wins is probably the ceiling. I think the floor might be a 3-win team,
So 2023
and
recap.
I only really say that is just because we saw what happened with Hunter Watson last year with the injuries and him really taking a beating, and how the offense really slowed down when that happened. Yeah, you lose your running game that you were able to really lean on for kind of the past 2 years, right, or
Yeah.
year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
You lose a lot of locker room presence with Noah and Ife, and your entire defense is nearly wiped. So I think there could be a huge adjustment there, and then you find yourself in a 3 or 4 win season. But then you could also like look at it and say, okay, if you just stay healthy and the running game is, picks up of where we left off from last year, why couldn't you win 8 games, right? I mean, 8 games seems really attainable.
Yeah. NBA Sam Boyd also asks, are we on the right track in women's volleyball and basketball? Volleyball, yes. I think we are. They released a whole new roster. They got some stuff in there going on. Basketball, sorry, my phone is going off a little bit on the notifications. I turned that off real quick. But basketball, I don't know, Luke. I mean, I know they made a couple of transfer portal transactions we'll talk about more in the future. I just don't know. I don't know if women's basketball either. Because the last 2 years and first 2 years in Conference USA have not been good. I mean, you won a tournament game last year. It's just I just wish I could see more. I could just see. I just want to see multiple conference tournament wins, and a lot and more and better performances in the regular season. Like I want to see improvement this year, Luke. That's where I'm getting at. I want to see improvement.
Is this? I mean, I've been calling for it for I think 3 years now, but
Yes, you
is
have.
this finally chopping block time for Raven Justice?
Eh. As someone that doesn't
I mean,
like,
I mean,
as someone that doesn't really like to call for someone's jobs personally, I think this is going to be it's a make or break year for two coaches, Luke. Sirianni of baseball and Justice of women's basketball. Those are two coaches that have their jobs on the line this year. We'll get more with Sirianni as baseball season creeps closer, and once baseball finalizes their roster for 2026. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens with that. I'm just kind of, I mean, they return a lot for sure, which is a big commodity to have these days. I don't.
Well, here's a question.
Oh,
Here's
God,
a
here we
question.
go.
Actually, no, I'll wait for it. I'll wait for it after. I'll just say it right now.
I mean, if this is something we can discuss in a later pod, we can for sure.
Let's just say football, 6 wins, and you lose a bowl game. How much time does that buy Longo? Does that buy him? How many years does that buy him?
Well, if we're going back to that real quick, I'm not really holding Longo. I'm not really holding this first year of Longo to anyone. I'm not really holding it against him no matter what happens because of the circumstances. That's just where I'm at with that right now.
Okay, so compare that to Mudge, right? Mudge, we had a great first year. We fell a little bit short in that conference tournament, but had a great first year. Obviously, winning that regular season title, that bought him a lot of time, Colin, and a large part of that was Hooten roster. Like we get that, like that's going to buy him a long time, right? And so, like, and Justice, at first we had some great teams, right? And it's really starting to fall apart. That's what I'm saying. I mean, like, how long does that first like good year buy you? I mean, and every athletic program is different across the country. I mean, you see some programs, be ruthless and take them out, in 2 years, but then you see some that hang on and hang on and hang on, and you just don't really, you never know when those results will come.
Yeah, we can definitely discuss that in the future, but I just want to see how women's basketball does this season to really make a point out of it. NBA Samboy also asked who our favorite burner account is, but I don't want to. I feel like no matter what we answer, Luke, we're still gonna get clowned no matter what. Because
we've done that. We've done it on the lives before.
Yes, we have
on the Twitter Spaces.
Yes, which we should bring those
paid the
back
price
as well.
I did pay the price.
Yes, you did. You got called out, man. You got called out. But
I got spammed on the DMs too.
I don't want to point out a favorite. I do, however, like Big Cat's question when it comes to the burners. Can you do a Mount Rushmore draft of the burner picks? I get 4 picks, you get 4. I can say it's really hard because I really don't want to do that.
Let's do it, Colin. Come on, let's have some fun.
Okay, let's go. I'm gonna go ahead with my 4. Okay.
Heads or tails?
You want to? Okay, we're gonna go first on the Mount. Okay.
We'll snake draft it.
Well, snake. That's really smart. Okay, yes, let's do that. Okay, tails never fails.
Hold on, I'm trying to flip a coin.
Oh my gosh, come on.
All right, you got it.
Tails never fails, baby. All right, my first pick in the 2025 Sam Houston burner account draft. I select Cats on Top.
That's a weak pick, Colin.
That's a weak pick. Whoa. Cats on Top could be
listening.
That's
a weak pick.
Cats on Top may be listening right now, and he just
he
heard
is,
you say
he
that.
is. He definitely is.
He
but
just
I'm
heard
going.
You said that.
I'm sorry. I'm going Samboy.
Oh, you're going Samboy with your first pick. Okay.
I'm going NBA Samboy.
Okay.
And my next pick.
No.
This is a tough one because it's a snake draft, Colin. It's a snake draft.
Okay. That is true. Yeah, that's true.
This is a tough one. I'm just kind of scrolling through and because OG KFC Keeler was really good, but it's hard. It is hard not to go against It's got to be Kean Scroggins' biggest fan.
Oh, that's kind of okay. I like it, and I'm gonna go ahead and counter that with SHSU football fan with my second pick. You were hoping I wasn't gonna remember that one, but I do. I do.
That's old school.
Yeah. I feel like I got a pretty strong draft right now, honestly.
John, your
But
draft ain't nothing compared to mine, dog.
man. Third pick though. Third pick. I really, really don't know who to go with though. There's a lot. The thing is, Luke, when you look at the burner accounts for Sam Houston, there's a lot of great options. There's a lot of great options. There's every burner account has been really good. Damn. Okay. I am gonna go with for my next pick. I'm gonna go with good old. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with the other. I'm gonna go with SHSU ball knower Big Cat. I'm gonna go with that one.
Oh, I got my top three.
Well, okay, what's your pick then? What's your third pick in the 2025 Mount
My last
Rushmore?
two picks. My last two picks.
Okay.
Hunter Watson's biggest fan.
No,
I have
no,
both.
no. Already had that one.
Oh, that's a football fan.
Yeah.
Crap.
I got you on that one.
All right. We're gonna go tripod. We're gonna go tripod's burner.
Okay. What's your final pick?
And this is a tough one.
It is. It is all pretty tough.
Does sidelines count? I'm just playing with Jonathan. I'm just playing with you. You know what? We're gonna go with the sleeper.
What's the sleeper pick, Luke?
Goes to Casey Keeler.
Oh, ghost of Casey Keeler from the out of nowhere. Like it.
I was listening in to one of the Twitter spaces anonymously, and there was a time where I was listening in, and Ghost of Casey Keeler would just pop in back and forth, and the entire space would go crazy and say, "We gotta get this guy on," and he would just disappear. So he's really gotten into the onto the bit there. I like that.
All right. I have my last pick. I've got Cats on top. I've got SHSU ball nowhere. I got SHSU football fan Big Cat. Oh man, I'm looking at these two options right now. But if I were to go with one more, my last one would be good old Put It in Sammy.
Can we get a fifth?
Honorable mention?
Cat fans.
Catfans.com.
Catfans.com. He does. It's not really a big thing anymore. So we know what he used to do, and
Oh my god.
it used to be pretty bad. I mean, he used to be nasty on there. So that is a good pick, though, Colin. General Sam also. General Sam didn't
General
get picked.
Sam is my you know what? I kind of want to just get rid of the draft at this point. Just be like, all the burner accounts are awesome. Really?
Because you got beat. That's why.
No, I didn't. You let off this draft by calling Cats on top weak. Are you serious though? That's a hot take there.
I'm not calling. Well, comparative.
Bro, come on now. I feel like we're doing Stephen A. Smith, Skip Bayless, like freaking first take, like debate right now. Like, come on,
Yeah,
man.
that's true.
Yeah.
Who are you then?
Oh, you know who I am. I'm Skip Bayless right here. I mean, I beg to differ what you just said. I mean, listen here. Cats on top is not weak. Are you serious? That was kind of weak though, impersonation, but you know. But here's your Skip Bayless.
Cats on top. He's hot. and then he's cold. Sometimes he's on fire, and sometimes he's not. He's on ice, and he's not the Iceman.
Listen here. Listen. I may have been on solitary while the NBA Finals was going on right in front of my face, but I'll tell you what. That Catman's on top. You better damn well know. That brother. He's really good.
Hey, we got another submission. Forgot to mention it.
Yes, we're getting a little off the rails. Go ahead.
This one is from Mr. Worldwide in Italy right now.
Okay.
He's in Italy, Colin. We've reached Italia in Rome. He asked, outside of the bowl game victory, what was our favorite moment of this past athletic year?
I mean, Luke, you already know my answer. Excuse me. Well, I have two answers, actually. I'll let you go first.
I'm going to take the obvious point. I'm going to go with the Texas State walk-off
Yes.
at NRG.
That was going to be my pick, but for different sake, I'll tell you, actually, hold on. Let me find this date real quick. Sorry, that was my chair. Let me find this date real quick. Hold on. I got to figure out what exactly the date was, because you know where I'm going with this. I think I know. How about 2 walk-offs in the same freaking day? There it is. May 4th, Sunday. Allie Seville walks it off against Louisiana Tech to send Sam Houston to the Conference USA softball tournament, and Parker Blackman walking it off against Liberty to sweep the Flames. That was a fun day, in my opinion. That day was so fun. That was awesome. So
that's a great pick.
Yeah,
that's a great pick.
All right, let's go ahead and keep rolling along here on Monday Mailbag. Let's see. I think we're getting it. Oh no, let's go ahead and go to these real quick. These two kind of go hand in hand. Ray at Ray393939 and Robin Marshall Bittick, or at Rob Bittick. They kind of asked the same thing in its own way. Like Ray asks, he says that Sam Houston Athletics should test the Pac-12 waters, make the call, and Robin says Conference USA and should conference. It basically is asking Conference USA and another conference should merge. Mountain West ? We kind of talk about the merging part. I don't know yet. Sam Houston can't really test the Pac-12 waters unless they have a call. Luke, Sam Houston is in no position right now to make calls right now. They need a call to come to them.
You're absolutely right. And there is interest in Sam Houston. Like we've talked about. Like you mentioned it, just earlier today or tonight. I guess it is 9:00. And we talked about it, in previous episodes. Like Mountain West, they were calling Sam. Like they were on the phone with Bobby Williams saying, talking about the interest there, right? Now like you're talking about like okay, if Texas State goes, we could be looking at the Wild West one more time, right? And we're going to be rumbling in the jungle, and you don't really know where that's going to go. I don't think the Pac-12 is a great spot for us. It's too far out, and I know like nowadays it doesn't really matter for some schools, but like St. Houston's still, we're not like we're printing money over here, right? I mean, we're really gripping on our pennies or what's penny pinching. Like it's not like we're Stanford or UCLA or USC that can just, splurge a couple million here and there. We just don't have that kind of cash. So, we'd have to be offered a dump truck of money for the Pac-12. But I think we're just fine, and just kind of where we are regionally, Sun Belt, Conference USA, American, like that's where our money is going to be made. I think if we go too far out west and and too high up. So, I mean, in such a quick fashion, I think that's just a recipe for disaster. It's like a you didn't ever belong here, you don't fit here. Why are you at the club? Get out. We're kicking you out. Like it's one of those type of situations.
Yeah, I just don't really, I just don't, I don't know. I really am tired. Here's the thing, Luke. Personally, with me, I don't feel like talking about it because I'm just tired of conference realignment in general. I'm tired of it. I'm done with it. I wish it would stop. I wish we'd have a set field right now, but things are just going to keep changing, especially with this new settlement that was passed. That was passed recently.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, great. I mean, that's a great. I mean, that's a whole topic of itself. That's a 30-minute back and forth
It
right
feels like
there.
an
I mean,
hour though, because of how much detail there is in this and how much impact this has on college sports in general. And basically, people are saying now after the settlement, it's just people are saying that after the settlement, it's no longer college sports.
no, I mean, I mean, you're right. I mean, the amateurism has been out the door for quite some time now. I
Yeah,
think. I
exactly.
mean, really, since like 2008, 2009. I think like money's getting to these players no matter what, and like
Yeah, yeah,
it could be through the front door, it could be through the back door, it could be through the chimney. You don't know where that money's coming in, but it's getting there. And the players are getting some cash. And it really was only like the big time schools, like the SEC paid players. We know that SEC was paying players forever. That's how they were so good.
Well,
Now it's kind of evened out a little bit.
Shane Gillis made that joke on College Game Day in front of Nick Saban,
He did. He
and Nick
did. Yeah,
Saban
Nick didn't
and
like that, did he?
oh, Nick was PO, dude. He was
But
PO'd.
like, I mean, contracts are going to come into this point at here, right? I mean,
Okay, so
like you can't just
well, hold on, wait a minute. There was actually a thing I saw that colleges can now, athletics departments can now apparently put buyout clauses in those NIL deals.
yeah, they have to. They have to protect their own like protect their own butts. I mean, not no, I'm not trying to cuss or anything, but like I mean, if you pour all your resources to go get two or three guys, and they're great, right? You go get two or three freshmen out of wherever, right? And they explode, and they're all Conference USA, first teamers, all freshmen, all Americans, and here comes Texas or LSU or Michigan, Ohio State, and just say, "Oh, we want that. Here's $1 million, and we'll go." Right? I mean, it's like you, it's gone. It's
Yeah.
gone. There is no such. I mean, it is. It's a college sport because it's in college, but there is nothing amateur about it. This is professional as it gets, dude.
Let's go ahead and just kind of just start wrapping up because it is getting late. Big Cat SHSU ball knower. He was the one that asked do the Mount Rushmore draft. But he asked what are our this is a big one, Luke. I was hesitant to do this, but why not? He asked our thoughts on the leadership. And I'm gonna personally say right now, there are things that happened that I don't agree with. I will say that. And some things could have probably been negotiated much better. Some things could have been done way much better. And people are like, "Oh, you could say that with other schools." Well, there's just some things that happened that I wish we could have done better. Right now, I don't really have an opinion on it. I'm just saying that there's could have been things that could have been executed much better, and there's more that need to be done. If there's one thing I've been pretty open about is like the relationship with the alumni base still not being fully healed, because I think that's just untapped potential right there. I wish I wish football games and I wish football games and basketball games were back on radio, like not just
Yeah,
not the broadcast just not being on The broadcast just not being on the internet or on Sirius XM. I mean, don't know how many people are listening to it on Sirius XM. I wish there was more media stuff involved. Like, I wish there was a football coaches show. I just have a lot of opinions on it. I could go on for hours, but I'm not going to go on. Overall, I wish there was some things that could be done. I wish there was some more creative. I wish there was some here's an extra idea though, Luke. If there's one thing I definitely wish that could happen, especially with like mascot wise, keep good old Sammy there, of course. Imagine this. Picture this. Picture this in your mind. Close your eyes for me. Close your eyes for me. Picture this real quick. It's football. You're back at Bauer Stadium. Guess who's leading the football team out? On horseback. Someone dressed as Sam Houston himself. Sword in the air. That hat right there. Riding out with the Texas flag in hand. Leading the football team. As
Maybe a little come and take it action?
Yeah, the come and take it flag. Yeah, why not?
I'm with it, Colin. It's kind of gimmicky, but it's cool. I like it.
It's
I'd be
gimmick.
with it.
I'd rock the heck out of that, bro. Like I'm telling you right now, I would do it. But what have your thoughts been on leadership?
It's interesting, Colin, because like, you could look at the Bobby Williams era, right? And it's without a doubt a success, right? I mean, national championships. Um, recently, like renovating the stadium and resources and baseball with draft picks and regional appearances and super regional appearances and um, you know, of course, there's been a lot of good. So I give Bobby Williams a B, like that, like throughout all of this because like there's definitely been some really like what are we doing like the locker room situation throughout the FCS was always kind of up in the air. The field has been
Yeah,
awful for years. Finally, they got that figured out.
yeah. We
Like
still
facilities wise, like it was an F. Now it's getting better, but like still, it's not great.
still got a long way to go.
The rebranding situation that's really just kind of pissed me off, calling a little
I
bit
don't.
there,
Yeah,
just because.
but that had nothing really to do with athletics.
Well, I think it kind of does. I mean, I how many times have we rebranded now? A bunch. Now it's just Sam Houston. It's no longer Sam Houston State. Now it's Sam Houston University. And I get it, but like when you say, "Oh, I go to Sam," or "Oh, I graduated from Sam," and people get that, but it's like we're changing the logo all these times now, and I just don't really care for it. And you're right with the calling with the alumni base. Like there is not a connect that you'd hope. And I know part of that's like Sam Houston is a commuter school. Like I get it. Like I get that part.
I just feel like
Um,
more could be done. Like way more could be done. Personally speaking, that's not something
yeah, you're right.
that's not something that's just athletics, Luke. That's a whole university thing, in my opinion. That's a whole
That's
university.
what I'm saying. And that's leadership. Colin, that's leadership. That's from Dr. White to Bobby Williams to professors to student organizations. That's everyone. That's to the town of Huntsville. And part of that, Colin, is also like you said, the radio. Colin, they don't do radio anymore with KSAM. And I know we're both like ex KSAM employees. Like
Yeah,
we
we're a
ride
little
and die
bit.
with that radio
Yeah,
station.
we're a bit biased. Just a disclaimer to everybody here.
Yeah, of course we're biased. But like, you would expect to be able to throw on the radio and listen to the local college sporting event and it would be on. But there's nothing there. I mean, and that's on, I mean, that's on Van Wagner. But I
I
mean, Bobby
wonder.
Williams has a place in that deal too.
I don't know. There's just a lot of moving parts, and then he also asked us to react to the tweet. I don't know if you have your phone pulled up or not, like the tweet that he wanted us to react to. with Dr. White at this AI conference, and she did chat GPT render image of her and Sammy being at the stadium or whatever at Bernard Johnson Coliseum. And it's like it's with it's with HTX underscore BXN Ben profile name, one of the other accounts that are really good. Damp House taking Pac-12 victory laps with the mediocre football program he's built at his rival school. That's and if a lot of people don't know, Damp House is the the athletics director, or hold on, I gotta get this right. Sam Houston graduate that is now at Texas State as the president of Texas State University. That's what I meant. Kelly Damphouse, the president of Texas State University, who is a Sam Houston alum, which is in its own way, it's very interesting, you would say. Yeah, he's just to kind of end this off, end off this pod. I just hope that leadership's not sitting on their butts and doing nothing. That's what I'm hoping, Luke. I just hope that they have a plan, because if bleep hits the fan and we're not ready, I don't even want to think the position that Sam Houston would be in if that happens.
Yeah, I'm trying to find this tweet. I mean, I see like the quote tweet, but I'm trying to find the actual AI rendering.
I mean, I don't really think that's that big of a deal, but I understand where it's coming from. But I don't think it's that big of a deal. I see where it's coming from, though. I just repeated myself twice. So
Well, and also you can't forget about the Giving Day.
yeah.
I wouldn't say it was a catastrophe, but it wasn't great.
Not a catastrophe, just below expectations a little bit.
I don't know. I don't know. We won 10 wins in a bowl game last year, and softball actually did something. It was probably our second best sport, or I guess third, unless you count golf, I guess too. But you know what would fix it all would just be a solid, all around great year from all of our programs. That would help a lot. But like,
You know what they say, right?
you're right. You're right with the winning cures everything.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going. Winning fixes everything.
Winning cures all. No, but you're exactly right with the alumni. Like they got to find a way to get connected with us, and not necessarily us, because I mean we're fairly well connected just because of who we what we've been doing for the past however many years, like while we were in school and now like outside of school and covering Sam Houston. Like obviously like there's a connection there, but for the general Sam Houston grad that's working down in I don't know, Katy or wherever, some suburb of Houston, right? That's not going to like Sam Houston alumni events or not going to a football game. They got to find a way to get back with that, and whether it's throwing deals out there, cheap tickets, I don't know what it would be, but I think someone from the university has got to, and I don't know if it's necessarily an athletics issue. It could just be, I think this is a Dr. White issue. Find a way to get connected and really, really dive into, okay, how do we embrace our, alumni base that's not send them, a flyer in the mail and ask for money. I mean, that's really what they do right now. That's it. Feels like.
You got any final thoughts before we wrap up?
Oh, I love the Bearkats, man. I know I kind of went in on them, but we still love the university. I mean, it's where we went to. I was there for 4 years and had such a great time at Sam Houston. But it was a solid athletic year. I think just to kind of wrap up the year, it got off to such a great start, and maybe didn't finish the way we wanted it to, but still it was a good finish and an end with softball. Kind of getting hot at the end, and the golf teams kind of doing their thing. But yeah, no, had a great time with you, Colin, this year. I'm looking forward to getting this next year started, if you will. coming here in August. So I'm ready for it. I'm ready to roll.
Yeah, I am too. I'm ready to just get going. I'm waiting for soccer to come here because to come in because they have a new coach. Volleyball's coming in. They've revamped their roster up. Then it's football. I love Sam Houston as well, man. You know me, Luke. You know me. I talk constantly because I'm worried all the time. I'm worried sick all the time about what is going to happen tomorrow. What if something could happen tomorrow that affects Sam Houston? I'm not saying that I'm not saying anybody's doing nothing about it. I'm sure I'm hoping that they're working behind the scenes. I think they are right now. I don't know anything. I got no insider information. But if there's one thing, I will always, no matter what, find ways to best cover the Cats, cover the players. I could do better personally though, Luke. But I'm a Cat for life, man. I decided to attend Sam Houston University and Sam Houston State University, and I'm going to keep on supporting it through coverage, talking about them. So I just want what's best, man. I just want what's best for athletics and the university. And the thing is, though, if the university wants to succeed, they have to really invest in athletics because that's the money pool right there, Luke. That's if there's one thing that's what gives universities so much rapport is the athletics. I mean, but education is also very important. Let's not forget that. But athletics is very important.
You know, it is, and Sam Houston's the academic ratings have been pretty good. I mean, like in terms of growth, in terms of results, in terms of kind of like rankings, if you will. Like you always like Sam Houston schools are always doing pretty good comparatively to so many others. Um, but you're right. Like you got to get going. I mean, the athletics that really builds up. Yeah, like you said, like rapport, it builds you credit in a way. It's like, oh, I want to go there. Like they win. Like their games look fun. That's the other thing. They got to get the students more involved in games. I think this will be a little bit tougher, obviously, because the stadium and they're playing down in Houston, which it's not really close, but it is what it is. But like basketball and volleyball, baseball and softball and soccer, they got to go all in on this year to get as many fans and get as many, to really build up a crowd and get a real mob going there, right? I mean, because like Colin, we have both been at Johnson Coliseum when it is empty and you can have a full-blown conversation while watching a basketball game. Instead, like it's quiet, right? I mean, they've got to really go all in on this because football revenue from the students ain't going to be there. So you got to find a way to get it somewhere else. So more promotional nights, whether that's more student activities and just getting people there. I don't care what you have to do. You got to get students at your games.
Yeah. Well, this mailbag has gone off the rails and it's getting late. I think that's a sign that we have to end it right here. Big shout out to everybody to participate in Monday Mailbag. We'll of course hold another one and the summer's getting in. It's getting to that dead period type of kind of year, really, and up until when media day starts. I plan to go to media day, Luke. I'm gonna say right now, I'm gonna go input my credential applications. Now I'm going there. I know you want to go there because it's at the PGA deal over there.
I know it's right. I mean, I can't touch it, but I am around the area, so I definitely plan on getting there. I know it's a weekday, so I'll probably have to take off work. Hopefully they let me get off, but
yeah, I got you.
We'll be good.
Well, that'll do it for us here. That'll do it for us here. That's Luke Scott. I'm Colin Neal saying so long for now. Be sure you subscribe and follow us on all of our social media platforms. And as always, guys, eat 'em up cats. Support your cats however you can. And yeah, that'll do it for us here for Sam Houston Sports Talk. Eat 'em up cats.
Look at